Good morning, everyone. Gonna see if we get live, if we can go live here. I'm gonna do a relatively short one, but it's something I really wanted to show you guys. I've had several people ask us if we do more stuff with the bigger dogs. So one of the things I'm doing with Ellie, and you've been able to see it and probably noticed it, I've talked about it, is I've been giving her back casts. I've been casting her back. So she's gonna learn to handle, because she's gonna do gun dog stuff. Rhett's in, welcome Rhett. Jeff Trudell joined. So we got some people starting to come in. I'm outside, so it's obviously very risky with me and my connection. So if I lose you, I'm hoping that we have enough reception this close to the house. So hey Brian, Cam Cutters is in. So I wanted to show you guys, today I'm gonna do for the first time, I feel like we've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable with Ellie on her back cast. And now I want to start adding in some lefts and some rights. So Stephanie's in, Doug's in, Sam is in. Welcome Sam. Chris Hines, welcome. So kind of a weird time, I know, middle of the day. Dakota, welcome. Good morning. I should say good morning. I feel like it's afternoon already. Beautiful day. So we're going to get some quick session in here with Ellie. Let me spin her right here with me. So I brought her out. I aired her out. No swearing if I lose you. Yeah, good luck with that. I swear like a sailor. So I'm going to, so David just said you start with a back cast or left or a right. I start with back, lots of backs, because the reason I do it is because with when I actually get in the field, majority of my handling is going to be back. Like I'm sending dogs back more than I'm sending them right or left. If I do a good job with back, and I do a good job with lining, I can usually line my dog in the right direction. That's the objective of being good at lining. And then I might have to send them back. But if I start a good line and I line them back, I usually only have to handle right or left a couple times. So I don't, hopefully once, to get them to where I need to get them. The thing is back casts are used more often. The problem with rights and lefts are if we focus on rights or lefts, our dogs anticipate rights or lefts more often than backs, and the back fades. So I don't want the back cast to fade. I want it to be really strong. So I've been working on back casts with her now for several months, and I'm pulling her to me and casting her back. I'm sending her, stopping her on a whistle, sending her back. I'm sending her, stopping her on a whistle, recalling her back to me, and then casting her back from there. So all different scenarios to get back casts. And she's gotten pretty good at it. Now I'm going to get into some more stuff where I really want to start working on her right and left. And because back is so strong, I'm less likely to lose it when I switch over to rights or lefts. When I say lose it, I mean she doesn't respond as well to it. So I'm going to continue to use back casts in my training, but now I'm going to start adding rights and lefts. So I think the time is right. So Cole, welcome Cole. Kelly Primick joined in. So here's how I'm going to do this. I like to use straight edges with retrieving. I think it helps our dogs. So we did a drill. We did a live not too long ago where, if this looks familiar, I was lining Ellie out through that line of timber. See that little line of brush? I was lining her out through there. So we did that not too long ago. Devin Windsor's in, Michael Schreiber's in. Welcome, guys. So this is the same spot that I was lining. Now I like to use, I'm going to walk over in my yard and show you. I use my front yard in my training, especially with young dogs. You're going to see it with Spry pretty soon. Around. See how this is a relatively straight line along from my grass to this brush. It's a straight line, relatively straight. So I take the pups and I make them make retrieves along the edge of this. You can use the edge of a field. I use my driveway a lot. You see that? I use the driveway. The driveway is a nice long straight line. So I'm helping my dogs out. All the while, Ellie's going to be over there on a little remote sit, just practicing. So when we line the dog on a straight line, it helps them. Now what I'm going to do is use that straight line, and this is almost always the spot that I start dogs on rights and lefts. Historically, I've been doing it now. I've lived here for 11 years, I think. So over 11 years, I've trained a lot of them, and this is the best spot that I've found to do this. So what I want to do is spin this around. You guys are I'm gonna kind of disconnect with you guys and connect with my dog. Now I gotta figure out if this is gonna be too bright and if you're gonna be able to see it. So I just kind of showed you the scenario. I'm gonna stand kind of right in front here. You should be able to see me. I'm gonna put Ellie on that, in the middle of that line of the brush, where the lawn meets the brush, or woods, or whatever you want to call it. It's a relatively straight line. These are gonna be really short retrieves. I'm gonna put her there, and I'm gonna send her along that line of brush. It's gonna help her keep a straight edge. So I'm not gonna talk so much to you guys. I'm gonna focus on her, and then I'll explain it after. But what I'm gonna do is, you've seen me do a lot of trailing memories, loop memories, circle memories. We're big on that. So these are going to be set up similar. We're going to use the edge to make it to our advantage to help her understand to get out. Now, she's never done this before remote. So I expect her, when I first start doing this, I expect her to watch me and not really know what to do. When I first started her on backcasting, I wasn't doing these lives. What I found was, with her especially, and it happens with a lot of dogs, but I'd get a dog, I'd put the dog on sit like she is right here. I'd pitch a bumper over the top of her head. I'd stop. I'd come down, and I'd give her a back, and I'd say, get back. And she's really prime right now. She's staring at me going, I think I'm supposed to go back, because it's habitual. She sees me do this, she thinks she's going back. But that's how I did it. So if you were where the dog is, I'd stop you. I'd pitch a bumper over your head. You're on a remote sit. I'd stop you. I'd bring it down till I can see you through my fingers, kind of like a sight, and then I'd say, get back. That's what it would say. Now, I practice that. Now I'm going to end up stopping you, coming down. I'm going to take a step, and I'm going to say, get out. And it's going to be real dramatic, get out. And so when I first started this with the pup, when she was coming on my back cast, she's so used to being sent from my side, I'd stop her, I'd come down, and I'd say, get back. And she'd go, I don't know what to do. She kind of froze. I had to really encourage her. And after I got her excited about it, and she realized I could break and go make this retrieve, she saw the bumper go right overhead. She knew it was right there. What she got in the habit of doing was she'd start to come to me. In fact, I'd say, get back. And what she would do is she'd run right over to me. I was really short distance. I was only 5 yards. And she would want to come to me, and I'd just line her up and go. So her habit was, I always have to leave for that retrieve from Dad's side. Now remember, this camera's flipped. This is my left side. So she was in a habit of, I'd stop her, I'd say, get back. She'd come running up to me, circle around, and I wouldn't make her stop. I'd just say, get back. And I'd line her out. She'd run. So she did that a couple times. Then all of a sudden I'd go, get back. And she'd start, she just took it. She just took the line. You guys couldn't see that, but good. So I would do that, and what she would do is she'd take 2 or 3 steps towards me and then swing back. And then she got to the point where she realized, I don't have to come to him. He'll send me from a distance now. And then all of a sudden she'd stop. I'd have her stop. I'd give her the back. She'd spin and go. So that was a transitional thing. Now this time, I don't know what she's going to do. When I give her a get out, I expect her to be real confused. She might even think she's got to go back. But that's where that wall is going to help me. And I'm going to encourage her to get out. And I'm going to make it as easy as possible. I'm going to try to get a couple on each side, and that'll be it. But this is the very first time, so I don't know how she's going to react. That's why I wanted to do it live. So she may want to come to me, like she did when I backcast her. She may want to come running to me and me send her. I'm not going to I'm not going to get on her about it, because I'm going to get her to understand all I'm doing is being sent from a remote spot. I'm being sent from somewhere else, and I'm going to start dialing in on rights and lefts. So I'm going to spin this around. I'm going to show you how I set it up, and then we'll do it with Ellie. Ellie, heel. So Ellie was over there. I practiced a little backcast, and she went spinning back. She went out of habit. She went, so heel. Now, this is going to take a lot of connection with me and her. So I'm going to move this so you can see it. And then I'm going to try to forget about this camera. Let's see if you guys will be able to see this. So, I'm gonna go right first. I'm using bright white bumpers for this. Visual, easy for her to see. Get out. Good girl. Good, hold, hold, hold. Very good. Hold. Did. That was really good. Really easy. Good. Hold. 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 Good. Did. Yep. Just gotta make sure you can still see her. I'm gonna go left now. Get up. Good. Good girl. Good. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Did. Yep. Again, I gotta make sure you can see her. You know. Good. 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 Very good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Very good. Come on. Good girl. Hold. 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 Good. Did. Now, I don't know if you could see it. There was hesitation in her. I said good. I'm trying to time her good with her moving. So when she goes on the move, I'm hoping she hears me say good and goes, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. I probably was too much there because as soon as I say good, she locked up. So she wasn't sure. I'm going to do that one again because she at first hesitated. And then my next moment would have been get her more excited. Get out. Get out. Good. So I'm going to try to get her to do that a little bit cleaner. Get out. Good. 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 Hold. Hold. Did. You can see that one, she's not as good going to the left. She actually turned to the right and spun around. So she's just getting used to this. This is footwork stuff. This is a lot like when the heel work, when I talk about left turns, right turns, and the difference in the heel and where the feet are on the dogs. This takes her focusing and going, he's coming down, I'm watching his hand, he's saying that way. She's never done it before. So out of instinct, she just went left. A lot of times when I backcast her, she spins one way, always. Now, it'll start making more sense to her because I'm going to stop her with different hands to give her, the back is back. So I can stop her left, get back, or I can stop her right, get back. the thing is I'm going to start varying my hands, because now I might stop her, and if I'm going to go left, I got to stop her with my left hand. Because if I decide to stop my dog with my right hand all the time out of habit, and I want her going that way, now I have to switch hands. Well, what does this look like? Looks like get back. So all of a sudden the dog's going to see that and go. So what I want to do is, this takes thinking on my part. If she's going to stop to go left, and I need to send her left, before I stop her, I have to go, what hand should I stop her with? Get out. If I stop her with the wrong hand, I have to switch hands. She's going to look at that and be all confused. So now all of a sudden this is thinking. We really have to think about this. But that doesn't happen yet. I'm just working on get to the left. Heel. Get out. Same thing. Good girl. Good. Hold. Hold. Good. Did. Good. Now, I'm going to end it with a back cast. So, you. This one she's done a million times. Not going to confuse her. We did two things new today. I'm ending it on something she knows, and I'm ending it on something that I want to reinforce to not fade, and that's the back. So I'm going to call her to me. I'm going to pitch a bumper over her, and I'm going to send her back. Good. That's it. Good. Good. Hold. Hold right here. That's it. So I'm done with that today. I'm going to continue to build on that. So it's something that I've put off. It's something that I've put off, and now we're going to start on. Part of the reason I put it off is there's the steadiness. Out of habit, she's just sitting. Come on, let's go. Come on. So I'm going to come inside quick and finish this up. I'm going to see, I think there were some questions. Now, I had some bumpers sitting on the porch. Hold. 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 Whose fault was that? Not hers. It was my fault for leaving them there. I took them out of my bag because I had too much in my bag and I wanted to use white ones. Hold. Because it'd be very easy for her to see. That's why we did that. These colored ones are nice for cover. Force them to use their nose. Hold. Dead. But when I brought him and I left him on the porch, she picked him up. So what did I do? I turned it into a lesson. Same thing I would do if my puppy picked him up. I'd get down and praise her and have her come back to me. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Now we get a nice little retrieve out of it. Let me go inside. We're going to look at some questions. Come on. And then we'll wrap this up. So we had good reception, which was nice. So let me just go through. I know some people had a couple questions. Can you do one back? Maybe that was the question. We did it. So let's see who joined in. Going back and seeing, I think we stopped where Kelly joined in. Kelly Primick joined in. Cole was in. Good morning, Cole. Good morning, Steph. Steph's on. Let's see. Jeff is ordering bumpers today. We had several of you guys order some bumpers recently. Love the idea of using a fence driveway brush line. That's just super, makes it a lot easier. Just helps us out with that. So at the moment we are still working on hold. Yeah. So I'm gonna flip this around. I could like these things. I like them right here. So here's Spry. Spry's been in most of the morning. Steph had her out taking pictures earlier today. she did really nice. So this is the daily life stuff that we come in and she's still on place. Love the idea of using the fence driveway brush line. I'll start jacks with lining soon. At the moment we're still working hold and soon to sit to the whistle. Yes, so got to have all that stuff first before you can handle the sit to the whistle part, especially the lining. Whether we're lining on hand signals or not, the natural lines help us greatly. So it helps us to make sure that we have nice, clean things in their minds visually to see. Too bad you don't make house calls for a week or so. Boy, I'd really be stretched thin, Jason. Melissa joined in. Welcome, Melissa. Hand casting has always amazed me. Someday Thor and I will get there for sure, Jeff. Baby steps. I'm not even close to doing it with Spry. But the thing is, what I'm going to do to make it easier with Spry is I'm going to set myself up early with good foundational stuff. Sit to the whistle, recall, lining for retrieves. That's all the stuff that is going to make the hand signal stuff easy. Hand signals aren't that hard. It's maybe harder for people than it is the dog. But it's hard for the dog if you don't have the foundation. You got to have that first. Jamie Rushman joined in. Daniel Preston was in. Thank you. Good morning, Jamie. What is the long blast before you send her? So that's to represent stopping to the whistle. I stop the dogs to the whistle before I would ever give them a hand signal. So my long blast is beep. That's, you'll watch back on some of those videos where I'm handling the dogs out in the field. I stop them to the whistle. So what I'm doing is I'm simulating, I'm kind of picking up. With this lesson, I'm picking up right at that point. Because before I ever give them a hand signal, they're always going to get a single blast stop to the whistle. Whether they're running 100 miles an hour at 100 yards, or 300 yards, or 10 yards, first thing before I ever handle them, I have to stop them to the whistle. They got to turn and they got to be facing me. Because if they get in a bad habit, a lot of times dogs get in bad habits where they stop to the whistle, but they're facing left or right, and they just freeze, and they turn their head and they look for direction. Well, if I give them a back cast, remember how when we line the dogs up, it's nose to tail. That's how they're going to run. So if they're facing left, but their head is facing me, they're looking at me, as soon as I give them a back cast, their body is going to move forward, which would be left, because that's the way they're facing. So I need to get them facing me square in order for me, because I'm going to practice with them facing me. They're going to learn how to take a left or a right based on their body facing straight at me. So if they're facing this way and I stop them to a whistle and all they do is turn their head, but their whole body is pointing this way, and I give them a get back. Well, in theory, back to them is turned 180 degrees. That would mean they're going to turn and go that way. Well, that's left. That's not back. So I need a dog square every time facing me in order to go back, right, or left. So the way I fix that, the way you can fix that is if you get habits of dogs, the dog's running across, say the dog's running across the landscape like this. This is the dog today. The dog's running across the landscape like this. I blast a whistle and stop him. He stops. He's facing that way. He's facing to my right. I need to get him to face me. Well, he froze because I taught him to stop on the whistle. What I really need to teach him is to square up and stop on the whistle. But sometimes they jump the gun and they don't do that. So a lot of people go, well, what do I do now? He stopped, but he's facing to the right. Recall him. Beep, 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 beep. Stop to the whistle. Beep. Now he's facing me. Now I'm right in position where I can go back, right, or left. So that's something that that's why I need to have a recall. You gotta be able to call him to me, stop him again on the whistle, get him to square back up. Let's see, can you do one back? We did that, Devin, and I didn't even know you asked for it. I wanted to end it on a back. Wanted to end it on something she knew, wanted to end it on something that was positive, wanted to end it on something that reinforced back. We went right and we went left. I don't want that to fade the back. So Melissa Stone's got goals. We're going to get you there. Van Beek joined in. Justin Jones was in. Wayne Pruitt joined in. Mike Schulte joined in. Missed part of it going back to see the first part. Yeah, it's a real short one, Justin. We're going to wrap it here pretty quickly. Got in late, saw the last two to the side, now one back. Yeah, Wayne, we just kind of explained it in the beginning, so you can go back and check that out. How will you fix the wrong turn in the cast? So when I casted her left, she spun to the right. That's going to just take, the end game was there. I got her to go left, but I need to get her used to turning, because I want her to be very precise. Great question, Vicky. So I started talking a little bit about how picky I am with heel work. When I was outside in the yard there earlier, I was saying, you know how picky I am on heel work? I want to turn to the left, I want to turn to the right, I want the feet moving in the right spot, the body bending the right way. All that stuff is real precise, and I'm picky about it because I'm real picky up close, because I'm going to get real picky at a distance. Right now, her footwork, Ellie's footwork, is off going to the left. To the right, it's real natural for her. She turns and goes. So natural that when she goes left, she turns to the right. So I'm going to do it the same way that I would with her feet being wrong in heel work. So what I'm going to do is we're going to work on it. So this is the very first day. I'm not so picky on her footwork yet, because I'm just trying to get the concept, just get the idea of go right, go left. It's very likely that as we do this, right might be easy for her, left might be her struggle. I'll favor the left, Vicky. I'll start working on her left. And she's smart, and she'll figure out, I'm going left, I'm not going right. I'm going to start making it the most efficient way. So we'll work on it. It will help me probably to get closer to her, close the distance. I'll get a lot closer to her. So I'll get, like, for me to spry away right now. And I'll get to the point where I'm right here and I just, get out, get out. And I'll turn it into a game. And I'll get Ellie to be sitting right there, and I'll get her amped up, and she'll want to go quick, because I'll do it with my tone of voice. And I'll get right here and I'll say, get out. And as soon as she does it right, it's going to click, and she's going to go, I'm way quicker to the bumper if I turn that way instead of going in a full circle. So it's just going to take time, Vicky. But me moving closer, me helping her, me spending more time on her weakness will get it so that it clicks. Glad I was able to catch today's video. Thanks for doing this. You bet, Zach, we're going to do some more like this. This is going to be a short one, but I'm going to try to continue to do these. Difference between hold and fetch. I've been using fetch as hold and go get it. You out of here? I got to give my wife a kiss. She's going to work. I love you. I'll call you later. So let's see. Difference between hold and fetch. I've been using fetch as hold and go get it. So I think you're just saying the verbiage is different for go get it. Is you're sending, ooh, the hearts. They sent a lot of hearts to us on that smooch. Let's see. The difference between hold and fetch. I've been using fetch as hold and go get it. So I think you're saying go get it, like to send them. I would not say go get it, April. I'd want to try to send them on their name. Especially because if I'm going to be working with other dogs, I want them to understand that their name is the trigger. So I would try, my recommendation would be go to that. You can do whatever you want as long as you're consistent. Go get it might be confusing because you say go get it and another dog says go get it, and all of a sudden two dogs are going to get it and one's the one supposed to and the other is supposed to honor. The between hold and fetch, I say hold physically for them to hold onto the bumper. That's part of their hold conditioning, delivery to hand. I remind them of it still. It's maybe more out of habit for me than it is the dog. But so I say hold to remind them, can't drop it, can't drop it, can't drop it. Again, it's probably a habit of mine more than the dog's. So I don't care what your verbiage is as long as you're consistent. My fear with go get it is go get it could be confusing down the road. Sending them on a name is real clear unless you got two dogs that are named the same, and then you got issues with that all the time. So Jail made it in late. Vicky says, I usually move to that side a step or two. So you're moving before or after you cast, Vicky. I mean, that totally makes sense. I'm gonna become very, I didn't do it so much today just because we're starting out, but I'm gonna become very clear. I love that what you're saying about moving, because physically, not only is it the hand, but it's my whole body. So I don't mind taking a long lunging step one way or the other to get them, to help them move. We talk a lot about connection and feel. When I move one way, my dogs move with me. Quartering and casting, when I work a dog on quartering and casting, I physically move in directions, 45s, and I get the dog to move with me. So you're saying before. So before. So you'd stop, you'd take a step to the left and then cast is what you're saying. Definitely will probably help them to anticipate the left or the right.
So it makes a lot of sense. Purpose of the mat he is laying on. I've seen a lot of them. Place training, Adam. This is the control that I look for with a dog to understand that they are not going to get in trouble if they're on their place, in their kennel, or with me under supervision. So place training is a really, really key part for us to ensure that our dogs are set up for success. Look back. Adam, you must be new in here. Welcome. We have used place training with Spry, which is who we're looking at right now, a lot. We've talked about it a lot. We've had so many people. I've got a lot of videos to continue to share, and we've had a lot that we have shared. It's probably one of the biggest game changers you're going to find when it comes to training your dog. So place training is what we're calling it. You'll see us talk about it all the time, Adam. So yes, you are new. Welcome, Adam. We appreciate you following. Do us a favor. This is what we're looking for. Participation. Live sucks if people don't interact with it. It doesn't make sense. So I love having the idea of having it live so we can answer questions as they come up. So feel free to continue to do that, and welcome aboard. You're part of the pack now. Cole, you see, everyone welcomes you in, Adam. So Vicky says yes to that. So it sounds like she's taking her step ahead, totally giving the dog a clearer understanding of the direction that's coming. So I'm all for that. That's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it. That was a short one, a quick one, but I wanted to get it in. It's the very first time that I've done lefts and rights with Ellie. Again, Ellie is going to be 2 this fall. So she's over a year and a half old. She's probably around 19, 20 months right now. And people always ask, timing-wise, when do we do this, when do we do that? Well, this dog is relatively old in a lot of people's minds. I don't care because I didn't hunt with her much last year. Very, very little. I wouldn't even say I hunted her. And she was, a year, a little over a year. I didn't think she was ready for it. She's one of my personal dogs, and I just didn't have her ready for it. So rather than getting an extra year of hunting out of her and probably running into issues because she wasn't prepared, I decided not to. This year she's going to be 2, and she's going to be prime. I'm going to have 10 to 12 years of phenomenal hunting with that dog because I took 1 season off because she wasn't ready. And I make sure that I got my stuff done before we get her in the field. Now I've got a lot of work to do yet, and I've got a lot of transitioning to do to get her into the field, but I'm telling you right now, she's gonna be studded in the field this year. And the reason is, and I say studded as like really good, because she is going to have the work put in ahead of time. So do you think bloodhounds would be good for bird hunting? I think they've got great noses. I don't know how they are with natural retrieve, and I don't know how they would be with endurance, Justin. Not to say that they can't. I think, I was asked about breeds a lot. I get asked about breeds a lot. I'll tell a quick little story. When I was in college, I was a part of a game farm, pheasant club. We trained really nice bird dogs when I was in college. My buddies and I turned out some pretty nice dogs because we were part of this club and we went to it a lot. And we were broke college kids, so we could never afford birds, but we always went on Monday and Tuesday after the rich guys on the weekend put out all the birds and couldn't shoot them. We went and hunted scratch birds first part of the week. So that was how we got dogs to be pretty good and could afford to do it. So one of the best a scratch bird dog usually is pretty good because they're not just fresh birds that are put out. Not to say that that's bad, but scratch birds are different. So when we hunted these scratch birds, you got dogs that got to be pretty good, and you got hunters that got to be pretty good, and you got trainers that got to be pretty good because it's way more realistic. And one of the best scratch bird dogs that were in that club was a German Shepherd. It was a guy that he had an old German Shepherd, and I don't know that it was even purebred. I think it was probably more of a rescue type dog that he had, and he used that Shepherd dog to bird hunt, and he cleaned up every scratch bird out there. So most people look at the Shepherds and go, not a bird dog, but I beg to differ when it comes to that because I saw it myself. So will a bloodhound do it? I don't know that I've ever seen a bloodhound bird hunting. I have seen beagles bird hunt. I've got a guy coming to our workshop with a terrier, a traditional tracking dog of Africa, a little terrier, and he's going to come to our workshop. And I know he bird hunts with that dog, and I know he rabbit hunts with that dog. He'll hunt grouse in northern Wisconsin with it. So I don't think you should let the breed of your dog dictate what you can and can't do with them. I think they can do everything. It's a matter of getting it out of them. So, do I think they could do it? Sure, I think you could. I think you might have struggles with some things that your dog doesn't do as natural. That's it, guys. My battery's going to die. You guys have a great rest of your day. Going into the weekend, I'm going to give you all fair warning. Like and share away. And if you don't have your notifications turned on, I would. Because this weekend, we're going to reunite Spry here with her twin sister, Fee. And we're going to do some blood trailing, liver drags to get started on these dogs with their little tracking careers. So we're doing that this weekend. I've made a date. Me and Chris. You'll see my alter ego, Chris from the UP. We're going to get together with our pups, and we're going to do some training this weekend. And we will be showing it live. So turn your notifications on if you want to catch that. Otherwise, you'll be able to see it later because it will be recorded. So you guys have a great day. Take care. Have a great weekend. We will be going live, and I will be making the commitment. I'm probably going to try to go live yet tonight. I think we get better numbers in the evening, but today was just too nice. I had to get a session in, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. So have a great day. We'll talk with you guys soon.